Hey guys, what I'm talking about in this video is something I kind of wanted to get off my chest for a while, to be honest. It's something I give a lot of thought about because online I follow a considerable amount of steroid slash fitness influencers. So my news feed every day is filled with shorts and etc., as I'm sure you have seen as well. And I just want to give my 2 cents on steroid influencers because I believe there's a lot of great ones out there. I believe there's a lot of great advice out there, but I have a problem with a lot of them. And I'm going to tell what my problem is. And it's not unique to the steroid influencers. It's pretty common with influencers in general. And it even goes back to things like I remember back in the day, because this is something I recognize, is like in the pickup artist community, they're there to sell you something, and what they do is they target male psychology. Like male psychology and female psychology they're a bit different, but there's different marketing strategies and techniques for both. Okay, so what they're using is marketing strategies which are attention-grabbing strategies, which are capitalizing off a lot of guys or people's vulnerabilities or like deficits or things they want to go. And then the other thing is that part of the catch is something that is a bit controversial as well. So a lot of the advice they give or whatever is actually not even things they truly believe in, but they're just putting things out there for the sake of creating controversy, which is like an old school marketing tactic. Like I don't even want to give examples in the past. I remember marketing tactics which cause controversy, which cause people to talk about it more. And as a result, when people talk about it more, that's marketing in itself, correct? Well, but also controversy makes people gives like an emotional response, which people then react to. And in that reaction, people then talk to in the comment section. And in the comment section, more comments, algorithm's better for you, correct? So I think a lot of the steroid advice, like I see, is just straight up bullshit. It's just straight up bunk steroid advice. I'm telling you guys. And the other thing, a lot of these guys don't even know what the fuck they're talking about sometimes. I guarantee, I heard this one guy who's I'm not going to mention any names, but he's a very predominant steroid influencer, okay? And he was talking about Mastron. And from the whole video, I knew this guy knew nothing about the pharmacological elements and science of Mastron and the effects it actually has on the body. I could tell. And I don't claim to be somebody who's like all well known, and that's the whole point. Like somebody like me who couldn't even pronounce pharmacology properly there, although I have a medical background and such, science background. I could tell right off that this guy knew nothing about it. So I think a lot of them are just talking out their ass, to be honest, and they're just looking for material to put out there because let's just be real. They're not experts. They're like, a lot of them are just gym bros. A lot of them the research might be very superficial that they've done, or it's being like the anecdotal, typical bodybuilding bro drivel advice that you hear. You know, that isn't necessarily anything of substance to it. I'll just be real. Now, I got to go on the flip side, which is I follow some influencers. I'm going to say Dr. Todd Lee, even though sometimes I don't fully agree with him, but, you know, how can I argue with him? He's a doctor and he's a pro bodybuilder, right? Kurt Havens, you know, a researcher, bodybuilder for like 30 years, with steroids for 30 years, knows everything about physiology, pharmacology. I'm really having a problem saying that word. I know, pharmacology, about steroids and such. But amongst others, you know what I mean? There are reputable ones out there that I really suggest listening to. But some of these guys just pumping out these shorts, and it's very visual, and it's about grabbing your emotion and things. It's not great advice. It's not great advice at all. And I think part of it comes down to their own. There's a narcissism involved, which is they're self-promoting. They're promoting their self, promoting their image. They're image obsessed. So that's part of it. It's as opposed to like, again, like I don't want to be claiming to be like a saint here, but like I really don't give a fuck about my image when it comes down to what I'm putting out there. It's more about the message. You know what I mean? Maybe I should focus on production more and image more when it comes down to things. But to be honest, I'm not even looking to be a real quote influencer like these guys. It's just about putting good information out there and having good conversations. But I know these guys, they're trying to sell something. There's an intention involved, a motivation, a drive involved, which is a driving factor of them putting out there, which is it's business oriented, which is understandable. I'm a capitalist myself. But the issue I have is when you're putting bad advice out there, because I'd feel it'd almost be kind of malicious in a way if I put myself in a position of authority, like in my work, for example. Like I work in the medical industry. Okay, well, actually I'm out of work right now, but I got some leads. Another video. But I work in medical industry, health industry in Canada, and literally I have an interview in 2 days at a place called Medical Massage. So the thing is, though, like it would be immoral and against the Hippocratic oath to give advice or to do things that for your clients or forever else that is a lie in the name of health. And I believe that's what's going on. I believe, honestly, that's what's going on right now with some of these, quote, influencers, is that they're positioning themselves in authority to give, quote, medical advice. It is medical in a way. But I know it is, and at the same time, I could hear the other side that it isn't, quote, because they're not true medical professionals, but it's like, people will get hurt as a result of bad advice when it comes down to this. People can get hurt with steroids, and irreversibly. And I believe a lot of people who have followed bad advice and gone down wrong paths in the steroid realm of things because they followed some guy who positioned himself as all-knowing when really they weren't. So, yeah, you have to at very least keep that in mind and not blindly follow advice, including my own. I'll just give my 2 cents out there and try to share my opinion on what to do and not to do, but my position is always based on a sense of safety, minimizing negative side effects while actually getting something out of it. There's always going to be risk involved. But when I hear people talking about some of the cycles and cycle lengths and what to do and what not to do, especially what not to do, like people are talking shit about Masteron. That's like the best compound to do, the safest, that's effective with testosterone. Like, and I hear so many influencers saying don't do Masteron. It's like, what? Now maybe there's some of you argue good argument why not to as well, but like, I think there's just a cookie cutter kind of advice going out there, which is like testosterone primobolan, testosterone EQ. You know what I mean? There's fads. It's understandable. There's fads. There's status quos when it comes down to things. So maybe I'm harsh to judge them too hard, but I just see a lot of it out there. You know what I mean? And so let me know what you think. And what do you guys think of a lot of the steroid influencers? Obviously, there's a lot of guys who've been in the game for a long time, and you should definitely listen to them. You should definitely listen to guys who've been doing it for like 30 years, because even though you might not agree with everything they said, it's something to at least open your ears to. People who've been doing it for a long time. The other thing I should mention is sometimes some of these guys are in the like straight bodybuilders and their advice is for like more bodybuilders, which isn't going to be applicable to everybody. And that advice, because it is bodybuilder steroid cycles, is going to be definitely steroid abusing steroids. So not everybody wants to abuse steroids, although you could argue that just doing them in the first place is kind of abusing them. It's like Yeah, I only smoke a little bit of crack. You know, I don't abuse crack. I just smoke it a little bit, right? You're still kind of a drug user, right? At that time. So technically, we're all drug users if you're doing steroids, but not to compare it to crack, though that's a false equivalence. But the abuse aspect of it, that some people who are giving advice are steroid abusers. So keep that in mind as well. I like to keep these videos kind of short, sweet, to the point, easily able to digest. So I think that's what I really want to say about the influencers, but I'll just reiterate what I said, which is, for one, a lot of them are putting videos out there that they don't even truly believe in themselves, whether to create controversy or just for their target audience. Two, some of them, it's just a marketing strategy. So they're in it for the views and the gains, for their own self-image or their own self-promotion. So people who are in it for their own self-promotion aren't always going to be the best medical advisors. And you should really listen to people who give quality medical advice, because technically doing steroids is medical advice. And lastly, just make sure that they're providing advice and cycle examples that are safe as well as effective, not just effective as well. So that's kind of what I wanted to get across in this video. There's probably a whole multitude of other things I could talk about. Maybe I'll make that in another video, part 2, who knows. But I just want to say, when it comes to this, a lot of steroid influencers and to be honest, influencers in general, there's a pattern. They're targeting male psychology. They're targeting their market audience. It's just as simple as that. So, keep that in mind at very least. All right, guys? Thanks for watching. Peace.